In this video, I'll walk you through getting started using Xuni in your Xamarin.Android app. First, let me create a new blank Android C# project in Visual Studio. All of the steps here are about the same if you're using Xamarin Studio. Next, we will add the NuGet packages for Xuni. Right-click the project name in Solution Explorer and select Manage NuGet Packages. Make sure the Grape City Packages source is selected. If you don't see this source, then make sure you installed Xuni. The full source path can also be found in the documentation. Then browse and locate the Xuni package for the controls you wish to use. For instance, I will use the gauge controls. Since this is a Xamarin.Android app, make sure to select the package that starts with Xuni.Android. So here I will select Xuni.Android.gauge. Then click Install. Hit OK and accept the license agreement that pops up. Dependencies are automatically handled by NuGet, so now you will not only see the Xuni.Android.gauge package referenced, but also the Xuni core, which is a dependency. Next, I will define the control in my main layout AXML file. Currently, my page contains a button within a vertical linear layout. So let's add a Xuni radial gauge to this layout. You can define controls in AXML by using the full namespace, such as com.grapecity.xuni.gauge.xuni radial gauge. And then we typically set the ID so we can access it from code. And here we can also set a few more properties, like width and height. Now, let's jump to the main activity.cs file, which is the code behind for our main activity. At the top, let's include the com.grapecity.xuni.gauge namespace. You can see within the onCreate method there's already some code that accesses and manipulates the button. So let me just copy that line of code and change it to my radial gauge. Since we've included the Xuni gauge namespace at the top, I can just type Xuni radial gauge and the editor recognizes it. And let's set a few properties, like the max we'll set to 100, we'll set the min value to 0, and the value of the gauge will be 75. So now we should see something on our gauge control. One final step before we run the app, we need to add a Xuni runtime key. This is a required step to evaluate or use Xuni controls within your own app. The Xuni controls contain runtime license validation, which is per app. To generate a runtime key for your app, you need to log in at www.gozuni.com and select License Your App from the Support menu. Then select Evaluation or Full, depending on the type of key you're generating. And on the Generate a Key page, select C# and enter the name of your app, which should also be the default namespace. Then click Generate. Then take this key and copy it into your project. The simplest way to do this would be to create a new class named License. The outputted text from the website includes the static class declaration, so it's very easy to just paste this into your editor. Then finally, in your code, before you initialize the Xuni control, set the Xuni.core.licenseManager.key property to your key. Now you should be up and running with Xuni in your Xamarin.Android app. For more information, be sure to check out the Xuni.Android documentation, and you'll find dedicated samples installed with Xuni or on GitHub. Thanks for watching.